I still remember few years back when cloud was newly introduced in the organizations. Everyone was so excited about implementing things in the cloud that no one was really paying attention to any sort of security. And then the security incidents around cloud started happening, or like it was um, raining cats and dogs, because sometimes you would hear that there were buckets open, sometimes people would compromise their keys, and then accounts would get hacked, and a lot of things were happening. Security groups were open in AWS, such as, and then there were a lot of issues. And then we started having afterthoughts about security, zero trust, and how to implement security. And then AWS and other cloud providers came up with security pillar in the well architected framework. And then it seemed that first we get excited about stuff, especially the technical stuff, and then we start thinking about security. Now these days, artificial intelligence, and in specific generative AI, is in vogue. Everyone is so excited, over the moon, hyped up about this generative AI, which is good, and no doubt that it is quite interesting and innovative technology, and it is going to disrupt everything. But still, very few are thinking about the security. This is high time that organizations and individuals, especially the security professionals and the IT professionals, evaluate and adopt generative AI's risk assessment framework. They should be assessing the risks, governance, and controls for this evolving technology at a rapid pace. As security leaders working with the largest, most complex customers out there, I would say that this is huge shift happening in paradigm, but still very few people are focusing on the security side of things. So where should we begin? Where should we start? This diagram, which you see on your screen, is from AWS, and I will drop the link to that blog post where AWS has posted this. So, due credit to where I have taken it. So, the purpose of this video is to give you a mental model to classify use cases so that you'd be able to secure your organization. And this is really spot on. I really am very glad that AWS has come up with this, because this was a need of the hour to have have an effective yet simple scoping security effort around generative AI. So AWS has created this matrix that conveniently summarizes key security disciplines that you should consider depending on which generative AI solution you select. Are you going to do it text summarization? Are you going to do text to video, text to audio? Are you doing consumer application, enterprise level? What exactly is your scope? And then from there it drills down and then tells you what to look for in terms of security. So if you look at scope 1, that is all about consumer app. Your business consumes a public third-party generative AI service such as OpenAI's Chat GPT model, and you're paying for it, or maybe even it's free. There's a lot of free stuff too out there. And then at this scope, you don't really own or see the training data or the model, and you cannot modify or augment it, as you know. It is something out there in public, just like your search engine. Now, so how do you secure it? You must make sure that whenever your employees are interacting with such chat applications, they don't put in any company's data on it or their own personal information. But other than that, you don't have much control there as far as those SaaS models are concerned, I would say. Then we have a scope of enterprise app. Your business, for example, in this scope uses a third-party enterprise application that has generative AI features embedded within, and a business relationship is established between your org and the vendor. Then the third scope is pre-trained models. In this one, your business builds its own application using an existing third-party generative AI foundation model. For example, you might use Anthropic's Cloud V2 model through Amazon Bedrock API, and you build your application around it. Now, there could be a lot of use cases around this, but the main point is that you should distinguish the scope that you are using pre-trained models. Then in the fourth scope, you have fine-tuned models. So fine-tuning means that you have train a base model or a pre-trained model more on your custom data set. So primarily what happens is that your business has refined an existing third-party model by fine-tuning it or retraining it with your own company's data, generating a new enhanced model that is only specialized and customized to your own workload. Then we have self-trained model. Self-trained model is that you have built it from scratch using data that you own or acquire. Now that is a very unique use case because not every company can afford to do that because it takes a lot of time and money, but still this is a scope. So if you have done it, then you own everything. And here all you need to worry about is resilience or high availability. So if you can see that mainly you need to be more wary when you are using scope 3 and 4 because this is where you need to do a lot of legal and privacy things and risk management things. So when you come to these security disciplines, then you need to be aware that the policies, procedures, and reporting need to empower the business, while risk should be reduced as much as possible. Also, you must be aware of any regulatory, legal, and privacy requirement as per your industry and your geographic location. Identification of potential threats to generative AI solutions should be catered for. Plus, you should implement some controls in order to have a smooth implementation of your model. Last but not least, as I mentioned, that you should think about the availability and SLAs of your model if you are using them in production. So once you have scoped your work, then it becomes really easy to prioritize because you know what you are handling and what sort of controls are there. Then you can simply go in and start using your model in a secure fashion. As I mentioned, I will drop the link to that blog post in video's description, and this is the blog post I'm referring to, and these are the researchers who have done it, Matt Senner and Mike Lapidakis, and this is amazing. I mean, just read through it. It's such a cool blog post, spot on. And to be fair and honest, you don't see such nicely and well-written blog posts from AWS. So I would highly suggest that you go through it, and then there are a lot of other things which I haven't mentioned in this video because that will make it too long, and I don't want to steal all the thunder from these researchers who have done a wonderful job. And I'm just scrolling through so that you know. And these are the guys, Matt Sainer and Mike. So thanks to both of them for this fabulous blog post, which I'll be using for sure in my production environments. So that's it, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, thoughts around it, please put them in the comments. And if you like the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you very much.